You know, with the weather becoming nicer, many are looking to take trips to the lake and get the boats out. I know I am. So we have Sergeant Bernhardt here from the Missouri State Highway Patrol to discuss boat safety and rules. So how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing really well, and you?
I'm doing well. You know, my mom has always told me since, little when I could get in the water, life jackets, #1.
Absolutely. You know, when you're thinking about boating safety, you have to think just exactly like you do when you're in a car or truck. You have to think about protection. And one of the main pieces of protection that you can have is obviously a life jacket or a personal flotation device. When you're on board a boat or a vessel in the state of Missouri, any child under the age of 7 at all times has to be wearing one, but we encourage everybody to be wearing a life jacket. Of course, in that boat, you are required by Missouri law to have a life jacket that is size appropriate for each person that is on that boat.
All right, let's kind of take a look at this one. This looks like pretty...
That's a good...
Yeah.
There's a lot of different types of flotation devices out here. This is a inflatable flotation device that's very comfortable to wear. When you would happen to get into the water, there is a pill in there that actually inflates this, or there's a little cord here that you could pull if you do need to inflate it.
Okay.
And then you can replace that pill in there to actually the CO2 bottle that fills it up. So there's a lot of different types out there. Certainly they're very cost effective, and when you think about saving somebody's life, that's really important.
Of course. And before you get your boat out on the water, there's some things you need to make sure that are done. And
this time of year is really exciting, and you think about getting your boat out and going fishing or just traveling around on the boat, water skiing and whatever. But one thing you need to do is make sure that your boat's ready before you hit the water, because when you get out on the water is not a time to have a problem. So making sure that your batteries are charged up, your drain plugs attached, making sure that you have your registration on board the vessel is a state law as well. Things like having a throwable life jacket is a law, or a seat cushion. Fire extinguisher, a horn, or a whistle. And if you're going to operate that boat at night, you are required to have lights.
Okay, so what are some of the things that, I know this is kind of new to the Highway Patrol, the water being part of it, correct?
Yes, just within the last 2 years, the Missouri State Water Patrol merged with the Missouri State Highway Patrol. And so we are the people that are out enforcing the laws on our waterways, and certainly take that as seriously as we do as the traffic ways.
So what are, some, tips for people, so they can stay safe and, not get these little tickets, you know what I mean?
Well, the main thing is to drive cautiously, making sure that you are paying attention to what you're doing when you're on board your vessel and operating that vessel. Making sure that you look at a water guide. Can be found on the Missouri State Highway Patrol website that tells you about watercraft laws and regulations, so that you're familiar with those. Making sure that you have lights and the proper equipment is some of the bigger things that we look for.
Okay, and how old do you have to be to, operate?
In the state of Missouri, you have to be 14 years of age to operate a boat or a vessel. If you were born after January the 1st of 1984, you are required to have a boater education card, which would require you, in order to get that, you have to go through a boater education class. You can either do that at many different locations throughout the state of Missouri periodically, or you can do that online by going to the Missouri State Highway Patrol website.
All right, and just as important, like drinking and driving, even that's the same thing when it comes to drinking and boating.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up, because when you get behind the wheel of a car, you're a danger if you've been drinking, and certainly the same way behind a vessel. So we do enforce boating while intoxicated laws very strictly, and adhere to those. And so if you're going to be participating in events that might have alcohol when you're out on that boat, make sure that you have a sober skipper aboard.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And maybe I'll see you out in the water.
I hope so. Yeah. I plan on being out very soon.
All right. Thank you so much. And we will be right back.